Charles Groberg, who was ultimately head of the art department at Weber College, picked the dummy train to Utah Hot Springs. It was called a dummy train because the engine was a mining engine, and the cars that it pulled were larger than the engine itself. When we commissioned Charles Groberg to do that painting, he asked the Utah history professor here at Weber about the dummy train to Utah Hot Springs. And Dr. Don Moorman said there wasn't one. It went from the Temple Square to Beck Hot Springs in Salt Lake. And so when Charlie told me that, he didn't want to paint something that wasn't. Well, he put an ad in the paper. Anybody having any information about the dummy train to Utah Hot Springs, call one of these numbers. A lady called him and said, if you want to know about the dummy train, you ought to call the man that owns Utah Hot Springs, Clarence Clay. And so he called him and found out that he not only knew about the dummy train, he had driven the dummy train. So the painting was done. Charles took it out to show it to Mr. Clay, and Mr. Clay said, he said, how could you make it look so much like it was? And then he said, there's something missing. There used to be a well. There was a well in front of the saloon. They'd come up to the well, they'd take the dipper, and they'd take a drink of that mineral water. And then to get the bad taste out of their mouth, they'd go in the saloon. And then vice versa. They'd leave the saloon and go out and get a sip of that mineral water. And Charles Groberg did this painting of the dummy train to Utah Hot Springs.